All right. So we're going to start with these plates. If you look at them, they're 360 by 360, so it's just a square. They're both exactly the same, and all of the features are symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that plate, and then I'm also going to make sure I do my rounded corners. So I have the front active. I want my sketch to be on this front. It already has it listed, right? And then I'm going to just start a rectangle. Now I'm going to make this 360. You'll see it'll go out of frame, but you'll also notice that this side didn't stay teeny. It kept the same ratio. So if you had something that was in proportion, it would still stay in the right proportion, even if you changed the parameters of one side. Second thing I need to do is this 20 radius. So I'm going to come to my sketch tool here for my fillet, and I'm going to click my two lines that'll be affected. And then I already had done this once, so my 20 is already there. And then I should be able to just come along to all of them and have that again, just like we did with the slide lock. And then once again here. Oops. Okay. And then here you go. Okay, enter that in. So here's your plate. So then what we need to do is place our circles. So I think what I'll do is I'll do an offset. So here's my offset tool. If I want to offset this, it's going to ask me how far. And yes, I want to go nope, I want to go in that direction. Yes. And then I want, I want it to be 50 over. Oops. Okay. And then I'm going to have the offset tool still active. I'll select this. I want it to go in. Yes. And it'll ask me, I want it to go 50. Now this will be where my circle starts. Okay. So I go back over here. The circle that is my inside circle has a diameter of 30. Okay. So that's my through circle. I'm going to do the through circle first. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's active. And I'm going to pull out a circle. And now I could do it on all of them. I could mirror them across. So let's try mirroring them in a moment. So let's make sure that this diameter is going to function for us. It needs to be 30. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, can I mirror it? So let's try it. Oh, my mirror line is going to be the midpoint. I can't get that to come up. Oh, shoot, sorry. I want it to be the middle of this line. So, because it's not centered, if I did, yeah. See what's going to happen. If I say that and then I say this, it'll mirror it over there, which is not my intent. So let's see if I can do this. Okay, let's not do it that way. You can do it. It's just set up a little bit differently. So I'm just going to do my reference lines, my offsets from here. Yes, and do it 50. For me, it's a little counterintuitive. And so it's not doing what I want it to do, basically. So I'm going to enter and then really hope that it starts functioning better. Okay, so then here's all my cross points. Okay, so now you can just come in here and do your circles. It doesn't really matter the size. It should stay active right at that crossing point, right at this crossing point. But we don't need to. All right, so then we're going to come in here and make sure all of them are 30. Okay. This one, I want that to be 30. And I want this one to be 30. Okay. And having these dimensions here will just let you keep them and make sure that everything's exactly how you want it to be. So make sure you're off a tool, and then delete some of these extra pieces. Now you could use the trim tool for this, but if you use the trim tool for this, anywhere there's a crossing line, it's going to cut it. So at this point we have the plate with the circles, the smaller of the two circles. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to extrude this, and I want to extrude it 50. Okay. I want the whole thing to extrude, and you can turn it to make sure it's doing what I want it to do, which I think I want it to come up. Let's make sure it's doing what I want it to do. Let's do this. It needs to be 50. Okay. I'm gonna say yes. Okay, there it is. Okay, pretty happy with that. So then what I'm going to do is on this face, I'm going to make a, let's see if I can, okay. You can also do a crossing and select it all, which is nice. And it tells you how many pieces you have with it. So now I'm going to do another sketch. I'm going to select this face for my sketch. Okay. I don't want to extrude anything. My sketch plane is here. Okay. And it's already showing it's there, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my outer circles, because I'm just going to push them down, and I'll show you how to remove them. So they are 60 in diameter. So if I go from the center and come out, okay, whoa, I should be able to do all 4 of them relatively easily. Okay, then again, I'll come and use my dimension to make sure that, make sure that these are all doing what I want them to do. Now these aren't going to stay in relation to each other like the other ones, because they aren't touching. Okay, they are separate entities. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude these down, and I'm going to say I'm good with that sketch. Then I'm going to say extrude, and I'm going to want to extrude this, this one. Make sure you get this inner circle and the outer, but I want it to extrude down. Okay, and I want it to remove, not add, remove. And then I want it to remove down 10. Okay, so then when you say okay, you should have this little indent. Okay, and that'll be perfect, right? The last thing you need to do is turn it to this front side for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sketch. It's going to be on this face plane. Okay, and then I'm going to use my reference lines to make a line go straight across this way, and another line to go straight across down the center. See that little box? The center of this. And you can see, whoops, I don't want that, I want this. Okay. This will be my center point for creating this circle here. Now, if you look at this circle, the only indication it gives you of the size of it is this is right here on the side, on this section view. So at 210. So I'm going to make a circle. Okay, this is in my center point, and it doesn't matter how big it is. So it's, did I say 210? Now I can't remember what I said. Yes, I did. Yay. So select, drag it out, and this should be 210. Okay. So now, with no tool selected, I'm going to select these reference lines that I created earlier, and I'm going to delete them. Okay. Then I'm going to do another extrude. I'm happy with that sketch, so I'm going to extrude just this. Okay. But I'm going to extrude it down. And you can extrude it however you want. This needs to be more than, it needs to be at least 50 or less. And we want to remove it because we want a hole in this. So I'm going to hit remove, and now I have my hole. There is a hole tool. I don't find it as easily as, say, this mechanism. So I'm just going to stick with that. And then let's see if we can use our chamfer. Now, if you look at it, it's a 10 by 10 chamfer. Okay. If it was 2 different sizes, it would look like 2 different distances, and it would tell you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do this chamfer. Now, again, if you hover over these, they're going to give you a little bit of what it is, okay, or what you need to do. So I'm going to select this edge. It's going to say 0.2, but I don't want that. I want the whole thing, and I want it to be equal distance. So you do have options here, but we want equal. Okay, enter, enter, say okay, and here is your plate, okay, that we just created. So we'll have 2 of these in the end, but right now we're just going to stick with the one, okay, to get you started.